In the beginning of time, only the primeval waters of chaos existed. Then, from a great flood, the sun god Aton emerged from the water and willed himself into creation. Aton created air, which he named Shu, and moisture, which he named Tefnut. They were the first divine pair, and soon had children of their own. The earth, named Geb, and the sky, named Nut. This second divine pair had 4 children: Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys, completing the group of 9 primeval gods known as the Ennead. Osiris married his sister Isis, and together they ruled Egypt in a time of peace and prosperity. However, their jealous brother Seth coveted the throne and murdered Osiris, dismembering his body and scattering the parts across the land. Isis searched for the pieces and, with the help of her sister Nephthys, collected them with assistance from the scholar god Thoth and the funerary god Anubis. She was able to reconstruct Osiris, creating the first mummy. Osiris impregnated Isis after his resurrection, but was too weak to remain in the world, traveling to the land of the dead, where he became its lord. Seth seized the throne, forcing Isis to flee and give birth to her son Horus in hiding. Isis raised Horus until he was old enough to challenge Seth for the throne. After a violent contest, the case was settled in a divine legal trial presided over by Geb, the god of the earth, who ruled in favor of Horus. Horus then took his rightful place as king of Egypt, and future pharaohs claimed descent from Horus, which gave them the divine right to rule. Among the hidden ones was Amun, the foremost god of Egypt, thought to be the invisible force behind all things, even creation itself. Unlike other gods linked to specific aspects of the world, such as the sky, the earth, or the sun, Amun was a universal god with connections to all parts of the cosmos. His prominence grew as he absorbed other gods throughout Egyptian history, taking on their roles and powers. The most important of these mergers was with the sun god Ra, creating Amun-Ra. As Amun-Ra, he became Egypt's chief deity and king of the gods. Amun was so widely worshipped that he nearly became the sole deity of Egypt, with other gods seen as aspects of his great power. Osiris, the judge of the dead and king of the underworld, was one of the most respected gods of ancient Egypt. His story of death and resurrection inspired Egyptians to seek immortality for themselves. Elaborate tombs and burial rituals were built in search of this goal, with funerary practices aiding the spirit's journey through the underworld. Pharaohs and wealthy nobles could afford more elaborate burials with trinkets and spells to assist in their journey, but even average Egyptians could survive the underworld. The soul would travel through the underworld, avoiding dangerous monsters until it reached the Hall of Ma'at, the goddess of truth. Here, the soul would stand before 42 judges and declare its innocence of specific sins. The soul's heart was weighed on a scale by the gods Anubis and Thoth. If the heart was lighter than the feather of truth, the soul would pass the trial, and Osiris would evaluate its worthiness to enter the afterlife. If heavier, the monster Ammit would devour the heart, erasing the soul from existence. Egypt's most important goddess, Isis, was so beloved that her worship often eclipsed that of her husband, Osiris. As the mother of Horus, the god of kingship, she was considered the mother of the pharaoh, with each pharaoh thought to be under her protection. Her healing magic greatly aided her popularity, and she was believed to use magic to protect the kingdom from its enemies. Isis's magic was so potent that she even challenged the mighty sun god Ra by creating a snake to bite him, only healing him of its venom when he revealed his true name to her, thus greatly enhancing her power. Son of Isis and Osiris, Horus was the god of kingship and an important figure in the pantheon. Each pharaoh was thought to embody Horus during life and Osiris during death. Horus was also considered the lord of the sky, depicted as a great cosmic falcon with his right eye representing the sun and his left eye the moon. The downsweep of his wings produced the winds. Seth, god of chaos and destruction, opposed the harmony of Osiris, Isis, and Horus. Known as the Red One, Seth personified anger and violence, often seen as the embodiment of evil. He was a god of the desert or red land, threatening growth and vegetation necessary for life. As a mythological opponent of Osiris and his rightful heir Horus, Seth represented rebellion and discord. Despite his destructive nature, Seth played a crucial role in the nightly journey of the sun god Ra through the underworld. Every night, Seth would travel with Ra in his bark until the serpent Apophis attacked. Apophis would hypnotize all the gods, including Ra, and only Seth could resist and repel the serpent with his spear. Arguably, the most important deity of Egyptian mythology was the sun god Ra. Ra was thought to be the sun itself, creating man from his tears and establishing kingship. As the first king, Ra ruled until he became old and weary. He departed the earth and was raised to the heavens on the back of the sky goddess Nut, where he became the king of the heavens. Ra was thought to represent the morning sun as Khepri, rolling the solar disk from the horizon to the sky, the midday sun as Ra himself, sailing across the sky in his day bark, and the evening sun as Atum, setting into the underworld. At night, Ra fought the giant serpent Apophis with the help of the gods accompanying him, being rejuvenated in the underworld and reborn anew each day. As manifestations of his power, several goddesses acted as the eyes of Ra, crushing his enemies with immense power. These fierce goddesses were often depicted as lionesses. The most prominent lioness goddess was Sekhmet, daughter of Ra. Known to breathe fire in battle, Sekhmet's hot winds were feared as the breath of Sekhmet. When Ra grew old and his subjects plotted to usurp him, Sekhmet's wrath was so intense she nearly annihilated humanity. Not all of Ra's eyes were as ferocious as Sekhmet. Bastet began as a lioness deity, but transformed into a cat deity by the Middle Kingdom. Her fierce aspects were toned down, and she became a protective deity, watching over women during pregnancy and acting as a nurse to the pharaoh. Some of Ra's eyes took the form of a cow, symbolizing their procreative role. Hathor, the goddess of women and motherhood, was connected with female sexuality and childbirth. She was sometimes depicted as the mother or wife of Horus. Pharaohs were called the sons of Hathor, and queens were associated with her. Hathor was also linked to the afterlife, with women eager to assimilate with her after death, similar to how men wished to join Osiris. Another eye of Ra took the form of a cow in some accounts. Neith was said to predate creation itself, being the creator of Ra, his enemy Apophis, and mankind. She was a maternal figure for gods and humans. also the mother of the crocodile god Sobek. Neith was a master archer, leading the Greeks to associate her with their goddess of warfare, Athena. Ptah was the god of craftsmen and patron of Memphis, Egypt's first capital. In Memphis, Ptah was believed to be responsible for creation, shaping the world and its features on his potter's wheel. He also created the arts and crafts and shared these gifts with humanity. Anubis, god of embalming, watched over burials and ensured souls navigated the afterlife. He oversaw tombs, punished grave robbers, and was closely linked to his father Osiris, whom he wrapped after death. Anubis became the god of embalming and monitored the embalming process, with canopic jars sometimes modelled after him. He played a crucial role in judging souls, weighing their hearts against the feather of truth, and sent those who passed to Osiris for final judgment. Thoth was the god of writing, knowledge, balance, and harmony. Born from Seth's forehead after consuming Horus's seed, Thoth was a moon god who healed Horus's eye when Seth injured it. Thoth invented writing and became the scribe of the gods, recording divine words and the passage of time.